Hello, thanks for coming to Money Monday today. Today is the credit score edition. So we're going to talk about what does it mean, what is a credit score, and how can we improve it. So I'm Francesca Sorvis with Great Rate Mortgage. As you have any questions or comments, please make sure to add them and I'll address them as I can. So what is a credit score? So a credit score is a number that represents your ability to pay off a debit or a credit. So it's used in conjunction with your credit report, and it helps a lender decide, do I want to lend money to this person? Are you safe to lend money to? So credit scores range, so we have our chart here. Let's see, make it fit. Boop, boop. We have a range here. They range from 300 to 850. The higher your score, the better. Average credit scores for most people are from 660 to 720. And, you know, it's not shared with us like how exactly credit scores are calculated. You know, how if you do this, your credit score is going to go up this many points, or doing this puts it down this many points. That's not shared with us. But we do know categories that do affect your credit score. It's all it's all a statistical analysis that the credit bureaus use to figure out your credit score. So here are the categories that we have. So we have 35% of your credit score is affected by payment history, 30% amounts owed, 15% credit length, 10% types of credit, and 10% new credit. So what does that mean? So payment history, right? Are you making your payments on time? Do you have any missed payments? Has anything gone to collections? Things like that. Amounts owed. That's what percent of your credit, what percent of your credit lines are you using? 15% is credit length. So how long have you had your credit lines? Types of credit, so that's what kinds of credit do you have? So do you have mortgage lines of credit? Do you have student debt? Is that the credit you have? Do you have credit cards? Do you have car loan? Those are all different kinds of credit that you may be borrowing from. And new credit, are you opening new lines of credit? Do you have a lot of credit inquiries that are on your account? So these are all things that affect what your credit score will be. Each person gets 3 scores. They're reported by the 3 national credit bureaus. The 3 credit bureaus are Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. When you get these 3 scores, your middle score is what's used to help qualify you for a mortgage. If you have a co-borrower that you're borrowing with, both of your middle score will be looked at, and then the lower of the 2 will be used to qualify your file. So why is a credit score important? Well, again, it helps you qualify for a loan, right? A lender is going to look at this number and decide, are you safe to lend to? And the better your credit score is, the lower the interest rate you're going to get. So that's another bonus to improving your credit score. So let's talk about what are some things you can do. What can you do to improve your credit score? So one thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you pay on time. Pay your bills on time. So even if it's just the minimum payment, do so on time. So utilize those automatic systems that they have in place. Set up those automatic payment systems so that you can get your minimums in. The next thing you could do is you want to try to use 30% or less of your available credit lines for each credit line, okay? So, you know, some people think, you know, or a lot of people I've heard have like this one credit card they like to use all the time. They have multiple, they don't use their other ones, they just use this one that they always use. Well, you might be using up a lot of the available credit on that one card, and even though you have 3 or 4 or however many other ones that you're not using, that's gonna actually work against you in terms of credit score than for you. So it's better to spread out that debt over multiple cards than to just have it be on one credit card. The next thing you could do that goes along with that is ask for a credit line increase on your credits. You can, this way, you're using a less percentage by not paying anything off. You're just increasing your credit line, but then you're utilizing a lesser amount of that credit that's available to you. So, and when you do that, if you do ask for a credit line increase, make sure that you ask them that it's not a hard check on your credit. It's not a hard hit. So credit inquiries, there could be a soft hit and a hard hit. So a soft hit means with credit score that it's not going to affect your credit score. A hard credit inquiry will show up on your credit report. So that's why you want to ask that question. The next thing you can do to help with your credit score is do not close your accounts. You know, some people say, okay, that's it. I'm going to pay off all my debt and I'm going to close my accounts, right? I'm not going to use the credit card anymore and I'm going to get rid of that. So it's going to look better on my credit report. And actually, that's a very bad thing to do. You want to have credit history. If you close that account, then your credit history with that account is going to go with it. So you want to make sure that even if you're not using the card, don't close it. Don't close it because then that credit history goes away. And along with that, do not open many new lines of credit. You know, if a lender sees that and then in the past 12 months you started opening up a bunch of different lines of credit, they're gonna start to think like, well, why does this person need all these lines of credit? And in addition, each time you open up a new line of credit that is a hard hit on your credit score does get reflected in your credit report, which will decrease your credit score. The next thing you can do is check your credit report. Make sure that there aren't any errors. If there are errors that you find, you can dispute them and you can talk with your creditor to see, to get that off your report. By law, everyone's entitled to one free credit report every 12 months. So you can go to the website www.annualcreditreport.com. Again, that's www.annualcreditreport.com. And there you can get your free annual credit report. And life happens, right? So things happen, we forget a payment, we miss a payment. When that happens, a really good idea is to write or call your creditors. Say, I've been a good standing customer, I usually pay on time, I missed this once. Please, can you remove this late, you could ask for the late fee to be removed as well, but don't have it show up on my credit report. Remove the late payment as showing up from the credit report so that it doesn't go against you. Even if you've been in the situation where you've defaulted, you can try to negotiate and say, okay, I know I owe this amount, I'm ready to pay it off, but would you be willing to take it off my credit report? I'm trying to buy a house, and because of this, I'm not able to. Is there anything you could do to help me out? Like I said, you could write or call, you can ask. Asking won't hurt your credit score, so you could always just ask, and the worst they can do is say no. So you can do that. And if your credit score isn't where you want it to be right now, that doesn't mean you can't purchase a house. If it's not in the average range, or I've worked with clients who've even been in the poor range to help them purchase. So if it's not there, definitely contact me. We can come up with a personalized plan for you so that you can purchase a home. And like we said, credit, life gets in the way of planning. Like, it's not where you've been, it's where you want to be, and we can, at great rate, we can definitely get you to where you want to be in that home. Credit score is a process, and it definitely takes work to improve your credit score. So, don't feel discouraged if it's a number where it's not where you want it to be. So that's all for credit score today. If there's something that you want to see in the future, please add it in the comments and I'll address it. I'll be live again next Monday. Next Monday, we're going to talk about pre-approvals, how to get pre-approved to buy. So thank you for joining, all of you. I appreciate it very much. Have a great night. Thanks.